Alright, gang. Welcome back to our Broke to Billionaire challenge in Ohio Richlands. It is now March. You join me as I'm actively in the process here of harvesting up our closest field to the main yard here, full of sorghum. So we're going to get a lot of sorghum out of this, which is great. I've also got a worker working on doing the spraying of the herbicide in the field way over there that we drilled in the last episode. It will also need a second application of fertilizer. Same thing back there. With the cotton field we drilled in the last episode. But things aren't going too bad here. We're almost to 12 million. I did spend a little bit of money off camera. I put down some more bee hives, or whatever they call them. Yeah, I mean, they're beehives, but they have something. There's another name for them. I think it starts with an L for when you have multiples. It's like a laying hive or something like that. Whatever it is. I spent some more money on those. We talked about it earlier on, and we just kind of were running out of money at that point. But since we have a little bit of influx in money and we know we're not going to succeed in our challenges here, I figured, well, why not? Let's just put some more down. So that's what I did. It's easy money. Doesn't really take a whole lot to put those down as far as that goes, and we get a lot of honey out of it. So that's what we did. But this new harvester we got a couple of episodes back now, I guess, is extremely helpful for us. We are able to now utilize the full extent of this unrealistic width, whereas before we had to drop it down because we were just making too big of mounds of straw, right? Now, obviously, sorghum doesn't have any straw, so it wouldn't have been as big of an issue here, but the issue really comes into play is the other harvester we had would, because we're utilizing such a wide width, it would fill up so quickly that a lot of the times I couldn't even stop the harvester fast enough because it was so heavy and was going so fast that I couldn't even stop it in enough time, and we ended up killing crops. So we decided to go with this one. It is a little bit slower, right? The other one we were going about 20, I think, the entire time, whereas this one we're just going at a solid 12. But I think in the long run it's better for us. We actually end up not killing as much crop, and we don't have as many issues with it, and we don't have to unload that often, right? I'm basically going to harvest almost every single field we have here without ever having to unload the actual harvester. So that's a time saver right there in itself. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. We actually don't have too many episodes left of this series, gang. It's crazy how fast time has flown by and how close we are to FS22 now. So we're probably, there's a chance, I guess, we can get to 100 million. It really just depends on how we do in regard to the hops and to the clothes, right? We've got a lot of clothes to sell, a lot. So that's really going to be the big key driver there for us, is that. And realistically, what we're going to do when the time comes to end this series, which is only, like I said, a few episodes away, we will probably be doing a whole lot of skipping and jumping months. I just want to make sure we're selling things when we need to sell them, and you know, we're skipping months to make sure we get everything harvested. I would like to harvest every field. Now, we may not re-drill every single field, but you know, when the time comes to end the series, I would like to harvest every field. And since we have such a large harvester now, that's probably going to be the objective here. Now, when this field right behind me, the one that we split up between this field we're currently harvesting and the field right behind me, that one we've been utilizing as a second cotton field. That, whenever we harvest that, will no longer be a cotton field because the cotton harvester is just your typical cotton harvester, so it takes a long time. And we already have a cotton field in the far back that we just recently drilled in the last episode, right? So if we're going to succeed here in the last few episodes of getting everything harvested, we probably need to flip that field to some kind of cereal crop like this, where I can utilize this harvester, where it does not take any time at all to get it done. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so this field is done, and we can re-drill this field, so that's good. We'll get probably the McCormick out. Well, maybe not. We might want to wait to drill it to the next episode, possibly. I don't know yet. We'll see. We may not even have time to re-drill it. But we'll see how things go. We've still got a decent amount of potatoes. I'm trying to make sure we get these unloaded and you know, get them going here in the BGAs as much as possible, so it continues to make us money. The worker says he's done. I know he's not. Where did you go? Man, these workers they're moronic, I'm telling you. They are moronic. So, how did he do? How much do we have? Wow, there's a lot. Okay, well, we're going to have to take care of all of that, I guess, ourselves. That's not exactly the most ideal situation for us there, but you know, I didn't go around the headland or anything like that, which I probably should have. I was just like, you know what, let's just set the worker off and let him do his thing. We don't have any fields specifically down here in this area besides that one up there, so really shouldn't have been at least a major issue if the worker does go into a field like he did there. But nevertheless, this is going to take us a while to get this taken care of, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to clean that up, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't have even done that to begin with. It looks like it might end up taking us longer to do it this way than in hindsight if I would have just went around the headland and did it that way. But I think the worker still would have had issues. This is a very, very awkwardly shaped field, so the likelihood is still there that there would have been issues. But nevertheless, we'll get this one taken care of as well. I'm not too concerned about the spraying today. Let's just try to get that field that we just finished harvesting done, and then there's a field over here that we have to harvest as well. Now, I believe that's going to give us straw. Now, we still have quite a lot of straw, but, you know, straw is something that, you know, we have a lot of things that we can utilize for, so eventually we are going to run out of straw, so it's good to have another straw option, I guess, to be able to put more into our productions. The silage making silo that turns the straw into silage is pretty quick. It still has some straw in there, but it had like 900,000. I think now it only has like 400 or something like that, so it's pretty quick. It'll chew through it pretty quickly throughout the day, so that's probably where most of that straw is going to go. But I can do the rest of this a little bit off camera, so I'm just going to leave this here for right now. Let's jump back over here where we wanted to. We need... Well, my other tractor's there, so... oh, by the way, I forgot to do it, I guess, in the last episode, but I did feed the sheep off camera. I might have even said at the end of the episode that I was going to do it off camera. I don't recall. But anyway, I did drop some grass into the sheep pen over there, so they're good. I think the chickens might need some food today, though, so we'll have to take a look on that. Or look at that, rather. Not on that. Look at that. Now, this sorghum that we just finished harvesting from this field, it's going to go in the silo. We'll wait, and probably until the end of the series here to sell it all, because March is not the best for sorghum. Sorghum is better in, you know, January. December, January. So it's not terrible. It's really not 2,400 and something. It's not terrible. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to sell it. Scratch everything I just said to you. That's not that big of a decrease. I'm just going to sell it. Just make us some more money right now. Let's just do it. Now, in the last episode, we put down the hop creation and this compost thing. To me, it looks like hops don't actually spawn as pallets. So you have to, I think, drop them into the actual trailer and then go sell them that way, which I guess kind of makes sense when you think about hops, and especially because we're making hop pellets, right? Which is a little bit more money. So we'll have to unload some of those and sell them, because if we recall correctly, no, I think it's April, isn't it? I was going to say I thought it was March, but I think it is April. Well, let's look really quick. We can just look and figure it out. We still have soybeans in the silo as well. Not many, but a little bit, so. $140,000 out of that sorghum. Giddy up. Where are they? Did I miss them? I must have missed them. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Here they go. Hops. So hop pellets, $11,000 in April. So it's not bad right now, actually. 10,786. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. But we'll wait till April, I guess. We want to get the most money we can out of that. All right. So that's done. Tell you what, I'm going to bring this kind of over here just in preparation for when we finish harvesting this field across the way. I think it's a wheat field, I think. I could be blanking on that. I could be wrong on that, I should say. Not blanking, it's not the right word, but I think it is. Yeah, that's a wheat field. And a pretty big one, because remember, we combined these two together. So, quite a large field. So this should be a lot of straw we're going to get out of this. Which I guess technically we don't have to drop it into straw, but I feel like we would just be losing money if we didn't, right? Since we can turn that into silage now, it just would be a big loss. But the big bonus here is that we can drop all of this, and we don't have to worry about the big massive mounds like I was talking about at the beginning, right? Because this harvester holds so much, we're still going to have big mounds of it, but we're not going to have to, you know, when we stop, right, to try to unload the harvester, we don't have to necessarily unload it because we have so much room. But if we were to stop, like with the old one, right, we build this big massive mountain of straw, and it's really difficult to get around and maneuver once that's there. A lot of times we end up killing some of the crop because of that, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. If you watched any of the previous episodes when we first got this header, it will make sense to you. And that's the main reason why we had to drop it down from the width that we currently have on it now to a little bit of a smaller width. I think this is a 50-meter width, whereas before it was 25, or what we dropped it down to, I guess I should say, was 25. So, but yeah. Real quick, a little shameless plug. I did this yesterday's episode, I think, with the 100 horsepower challenge on Ausback. A little shameless plug for my other channel, really quick. Just bear with me if you're not interested in it at all. I did do. I'm doing a playthrough currently on Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and I've never been scared in my life of a Call of Duty game. But man, they had one of these levels. I think it's episode 5. So if you're interested in it, go and you want to see me get scared. About halfway through, I turned the camera on because I was like, this is just too entertaining for everyone else with all the jump scares. But there was an episode or a level, I guess I should say, where there was portions of Call of Duty, the entire episode 5 for the most part, where I was getting jump scared the entire time. I wasn't expecting that from a Call of Duty game. I love scary stuff, but I don't normally play horror games for whatever reason. I don't know why, I just don't. I think it's because I get really focused when I play like shooters and video games in general. So I don't normally do that, but if I'm going to watch a movie or something, I love horror movies. It's funny to me that I was getting jump scared more than I do when I go watch a movie in a theater. So if you're interested in something like that and you want to see me get scared and jump scared, maybe go check it out. Like I said, a little shameless plug. But we'll move on. This is Farming Simulator. This is not Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Simulator. But as you can see, we're nearly done with this field already. So this is this is really what we should have probably did on the channel, I don't know, 25 episodes ago, maybe longer than that. We probably should have upgraded to this harvester, to this header. I mean, it would have saved us a lot of time. We would have got a lot further along in this series. Would have had a lot more. Well, we probably still wouldn't have got there, but we would have had a better chance of trying to actually reach our end goal, our original end goal of, you know, $1 billion. But as all of you have rightfully notated, it was already an unrealistic, you know, challenge to begin with. And you're right. I didn't really think it was going to be when I first created this challenge. I really didn't. Mostly because I never really tried to get to that kind of money, you know, and I've easily got to, you know, 10 million before or whatever it was. Well, I think I got close to it, and I had quit at that point. This is before I was doing videos on Farming Simulator, before I even had a channel doing videos, because I think I popped an achievement, I think, when we were playing this map, I think, or maybe was it this series? I don't know. But anyway, I know I popped the 10 million achievement, but I'm positive before this I had got close to it. I maybe just didn't actually hit the 10 million, but it's a hard thing. I guess what I'm getting at is it's a hard thing to do, and it's not really something I should have been like, oh, I'll easily be able to do it. But I also, at the same time, which I think I've mentioned this prior to, I didn't really think there was an FS22 coming out this year. I was on the team there was not going to be an FS22 coming out. Why? I don't know. I don't know why. I just, for some reason, I thought they were not going to do it till FS26. They were happy with the way that it was now with all the DLC and all the mods and everything that were in here. I did not think there was going to be an FS25. I should have, I guess, thought of that in hindsight. If you look at the history of Giants in their you know, their games, but I was on team no FS25, so that's kind of another reason why I think I started it, because I was like, I got 2 years. 2 years is plenty. I'll easily be able to get there in 2 years. And it turns out we didn't even have a full year. So, so there you go. I'm doing a lot of ranting today. I'm in another ranting mood today. I apologize, but That's just like to give you my mind and where I'm thinking and what I'm thinking about, I guess. So these fields are now fully harvested, so that took pretty much no time at all. I think we're about 15, 16 minutes into the episode at this point. And both fields are harvested, so I really should probably be looking for the same kind of situation for drills and stuff, right? Trying to find some kind of unrealistic drill that'll allow us to get this stuff done faster. I have researched many times, and I know I've mentioned it to you many times, trying to find a better loading wagon or something to pick up all this straw. Now, there is many of you have said it, and rightfully so, there is a quick baler that we could get, where we could bale this up, right? But I don't know. I don't know if I want to go that path, because I still think it's going to take us just as long if we do that, because the Autoload trailer we have, I think that's the biggest one that I can get, because I'm on console, so I don't have the access to all the other mods. I can only go off of what's on ModHub. I don't think, even with that it would be any faster, because we'd have to make so many trips back and forth with that trailer just to auto-load all the bales. So I don't think it would work as well as everyone is kind of saying. I could be completely wrong by that statement, but I don't think it would. There's another wheat field down here that we could harvest today. I think we're going to. Why not? We're not going to put any straw down on that one. I'm not even going to worry about the straw. We've got plenty of straw. I'm not worried about the straw at all. But that is some more wheat that we can get and store for a relatively inexpensive amount. And we also did eclipse 12 million there. I don't know if you saw it or not, but so I'm going to buy it. I already bought it, I guess. So we're going to harvest that. And yeah, let's harvest that. We could fill up the rest of the tank probably here of the harvester, or get pretty close to it. That'll be a lot of wheat, which is good. So I'm gonna head down there. I'll meet you down there. Let's get it harvested up, and then we'll take care of starting the drilling and everything else that we have to do. But really, I want to get the spraying and the second application of fertilizer done today before the drilling. Honestly, the reason I missed a section down here. I'm glad I came back down here. The reason for that, though, is because I want to get those fields ready to go. In the next episode, we can do the drillings and pick up the straw and everything else, right? And I did obviously turn off the drop because, like I said, we're not going to drop straw out of this one down here. I probably should have went a different way than what I'm going now, shouldn't I have? All right, well, I'll meet you down there. I'll see if I can unhook this and figure out another way to get around here. All right, well, this field is harvested, and then I finished, obviously, doing the spraying of the herbicide onto this field as well. Moved the sprayer down to here because we're going to have to spray this field here. We're going to sell this one back real quick. Get us back up above 12 million. So we got 213,785 liters in here. That's a lot. So the wheat, it might be too low now at this point for the wheat. The sorghum, we went ahead and sold it because it was only a couple $100 off. If it's a couple $100 off for the wheat as well, we will do the same. But it just depends. If it's significantly less, then I'm just going to wait it out. We're going to sell it. We are going to sell it. So we'll go sell that as well. We probably won't make a ton of money. 213,785 versus, what, 1,856. So, I mean, decent amount, right? About 300,000-ish, give or take. All right, selling it here. Now, we are going to have to bring back the harvester at some point. I think I'm just going to do that off camera. There's no reason to have you watch me bring the harvester back here. So I was way wrong, almost 400,000. I said 300,000, give or take a few. So that's good. 12.4 million now. Not too shabby at all. What I'd like to do is get the fertilizing going here, the second application of fertilizer on that field over there. Get that done. Then we're going to have to come over here and do the same thing to the field back there. But realistically, I probably will put a worker on some of this. It just depends how long it's taking us, right? I'm probably going to have to go around the headland more than likely. And then there's probably not going to be a whole lot because the width on this is so significant that it really may not take us that long to do this. But we'll see. If there is enough there where it makes sense to put a worker on it, we will do so, just to help us out. It's about to hit 9 o'clock, so we should make a tiny bit of money here. I do have some things still on auto selling, so probably won't get to 13 million, but maybe we'll get a little bit closer to it. Well, not even maybe. We will get a little closer to it, I guess, as I should say. We'll zoom out here a little bit further. I've been zooming out a lot on a lot of the things we're utilizing on this series now, and it's mostly because of the widths that we have now. They are so significant that it just makes more sense for me to see where the hell I'm, what I'm doing, right? Trying to utilize the width as best as I can. Now, realistically, what we're going to likely do here moving forward, we're going to re-drill the two fields that we harvested today. We will likely, like I said, re-drill the one field over there with the cotton in it, maybe, but we also may not. I mentioned earlier that we would, put something else in it, but now that I'm kind of thinking about where we are and how much is left of the series, how many episodes we have left, and how much is left to accomplish and do, we might not even re-drill it. We might just leave it be. We'll see. The last thing I want to do is have, 2 episodes, and each of those episodes are going to take me 3 to 4 hours to do, because I don't have 3 to 4 hours in a day to do an episode, unfortunately. It normally takes me, with the editing, to do an episode. I think I've mentioned this before, but, on this series, at least, it normally takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours just to do the recording and then do the editing on top of that for this episode. And that doesn't include the thumbnails and, putting it, actually uploading it, all the details in, etc., etc. But not a complaint by any means. I'm not trying to complain. I don't have enough time in the day because I work a job that's pretty demanding. So, work a lot of hours. I normally work at least 50 to 60 hours a week. Not every 2 weeks, a week. I'm always on call, which is part of the problem, right? So it could be the weekend, I could be doing one of these videos, and I could get called in to work, and that puts me at a little bit of a disadvantage. So again, I'm not trying to complain. I don't want anybody to feel bad for me, anything like that. That's not what that was meant to be. That's not what it meant to be at all. I just like to be honest and straight up with you and be, fair and tell you what's going on in my life, and that's one thing that goes on in my life that kind of limits me sometimes. So because I only have a few hours, and some nights, you know, it may be a really stressful day at work, and I just don't feel like doing a video, right? That happens too. That's why I've mentioned before many times that sometimes I try. Right now, I haven't been able to do it because I got back from Italy, wasn't feeling great, all that, blah, 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 all that stuff, and now I've got another work trip coming here next week, so, well, I guess the time you're watching this, it'll be, well, yeah, it'll still be next week, I guess. I think this is coming out on Saturday, I think. But yeah, so I mean, the next week I'll be gone again. So it's there's a lot going on right now, and not a whole lot of time in the day for me to get things done because I still got to do errands and, you know, normal real life stuff. So I appreciate the continued support, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at, and I appreciate your understanding. So not too bad here. We're moving along pretty nicely. I think I'm going to go ahead and throw this on a worker now. I think the worker should be able to do the rest of this without having any major issues, but I guess we'll find out, right? So we're going to go ahead and head down here. We're going to start undoing the herbicide spraying. I should have probably filled this up, but yeah, too late now. I'm going to have to do it at some point later as we're carrying on here, I guess. But we're going to go around the headland here. This is typically one of the ones that causes us a lot of mayhem and issues if we don't, where the worker will go into another field without question. Now, when I do the headland pass, it typically tends to be okay. Sometimes there's still an issue, but typically it makes it okay. So we're going to do that headland pass just to try to make sure that that is the case and that there is no issue, if at all possible, on this field. Because the last thing I want to do is have the worker running into our cotton field. So I'm excited, though. I saw a recent video that Giants put out. I watched that one with the different equipment and stuff. The different logos, at least, for the different brands of equipment that will be in. Seems like they got a few other ones, which is nice. That's what I was hoping for as well, is for them to, you know, branch out and get some other equipment that maybe are not as known. You know, when I say not as known, I'm talking like, you know, the big dogs, like not John Deere, New Holland, you know, Case, etc., right? Get some of the other smaller names that maybe do specific pieces of equipment, and that's all they do, right? And it seems like they've kind of done that, so good thing. So I'm going to carry on here, going around the headland, and then we'll throw down a worker, and once I get to that point to throw down a worker, I'll be back with you, and we'll move on to the next objective, huh? Alright, this field's pretty much done here, gang. We're going to be taking this straight back to the cotton field back there. I had some more thoughts about what I just discussed with you about maybe not re-drilling the fields. I think I'm going to re-drill the fields the more I thought about it. I think I am going to re-drill them. It's just what I said before, where we're not going to drop straw or re-drill them after that, anything like that. We'll just drill them, make sure we put in, you know, some kind of cereal crop where we can utilize that harvester the proper way, because we'll be able to fly through the fields. And then if we utilize that that trailer that we have, that unrealistic trailer that we have, it shouldn't take us too long to do that. We could really do probably all the fields in one episode if we really wanted to at that point. So I think that's what we're going to do. So I kind of had to rethink about it, and that's what we're gonna stick with. We're gonna go with that. So let's get back here to the back. We probably have to do a little touch-up work, I'm sure, on that cotton field with the spray, and I'm sure the worker missed a few things. And hopefully they stayed in their lane there and didn't go. I'm just gonna take shortcuts here across our fields that have been harvested. There's no reason not to. They stayed in their lane and didn't, you know, jump into another field. I would hope so, based on the fact that I went around the headland pass. But you never know with these workers. They piss me off. You never know. Okay, well, the worker didn't do too bad of a job. There are sections missed as expected, but it's not too bad. All things considered, it's really not. It's this little section here, then there's a section down there, some little triangle sections, as you would call them, right? Otherwise, the worker did all right. So what we're probably going to do here, gang, is we're going to finish up this field here, and then we're going to leave the re-drilling of both fields plus the straw pick up, and then we probably, I didn't really look, but I would suspect that the grass by the sheep and everything, that's probably ready to mow, probably. So we'll take care of all of that in the next episode, more than likely, right? Same month, March again. But we'll probably take care of that. And then I think at that point, if I factor in doing another episode here in March, I think at that point we're going to be getting ready to go ahead and close out the series with another 2 or 3 episodes probably, and then we'll be done. So I think that's a good point for us to move forward in, right? We'll go ahead and take care of the remainder here in March of re-drilling the fields, and then from this point forward after March, when we jump to April, we will not be re-drilling any further. So we could then sell the drill, including a couple of other things as well, right? Once we got everything sprayed and fertilized for the second application, we can get rid of both of those as well. So we can start selling some of the stuff that we have. Now, we're probably still going to jump quite a few months when that last month does come. I want to make sure everything's ready to harvest at the same time-ish kind of situation. Try to utilize as much as we can of the things that we currently put into our productions. I don't really want to waste a whole lot of crop if at all possible, but there is certainly going to be some that's wasted. There's not going to be any way around it. But that's kind of where I want to be at, I guess, or where I want to go here with the rest of the series for the last three episodes? Counting the second one in March, there would be, let's see, that would be on a Monday, and then it would have a Wednesday, and then a Friday, and I'm back Friday, so yeah, there's 3 episodes left, so we'll do one more episode of March, and then we're going to skip a ton of months until every field we have is ready to harvest, because we don't have withering on, so we can let them sit there as long as we want. So we'll skip until every single thing is ready. If I have to do any kind of, fertilizing for the second application, etc. off camera, I will certainly do so. It's not a big deal. May even jump to April in the next episode as well, right? Just may even do that. But yeah, we'll kind of close it out with 2 episodes. It's going to take a while to clear out everything, right? We have got to do all the harvesting and then sell everything. We've got a lot of things to sell, a lot of productions and everything to sell. So this is going to take a bit of time to accomplish. So 3 more episodes to go after this one. We'll carry on here. I'm going to get the rest of this field fertilized up. It won't take long for me to accomplish this, and we're going to leave the episode here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. More videos are in the corners. Make sure you check those out. Check my other channel out as well, like I mentioned, if you're interested in it. And until next time, I will catch each and every single one of you in the next episode.